Greetings, one and all beautiful souls. I am on this live. Today is February 13, 2019. I've come on here right now briefly because within the past hour, I have been feeling great. Hi, sweetie pie. I've come on here now. I don't know if any one of you, if you have, especially females, this is for especially the females. I'm a little bit like off right now because I've been feeling a lot of menstrual cramps, like cramps within the past hour. So right now it's about 11:41 p.m. Eastern time. I'm in New York. I already had put out the question out on Facebook if there's any females that have been experiencing menstrual cramps all of a sudden. Great evening. Any menstrual cramps all of a sudden within the last few hours or just within the last hour, depending on where you are, because I've been feeling the cramps like as if I'm about to give birth. Okay, so it's like menstrual. I haven't had a cycle since 2015. And, you know, going through all the spiritual changes and shifts. And so I wanted to find out if anyone else has been feeling the menstrual cramps because it was within the past hour. And someone that I know, she's on the twin soul path also. If I sound a little weird, it's just because I'm still feeling it right now. I normally don't come on when I feel weird, but I've just been pushed to come on. I didn't know, should I go on Facebook? Should I go on YouTube? And I said, let me come here because it's a little bit more sacred here for me. So anyway, I've been feeling it's more than just cramps, because usually when you have cramps, you're feeling it in the front part. So you've been feeling bloated, okay? Like you feel it in the front part, but it's for me, I was feeling it in my back, radiating. And I have five children. So I know what it feels like when you get ready to give birth or something like that. So anyway, so I kind of was tuning into what was happening because 3 other females responded to me and said yes. One of them, she just said, I just said this. And she said that she said to her babysitter that she didn't know why the fuck she was having cramps and like this, and she joked about it, she said, and she said, no, you can't be, because then she said that she would also be having the cramps as well. So I told her, well, I just literally have been feeling the cramps. And so what I've been feeling, I'm going to get to your comments. I just wanted to get the message out because I feel really weird, and I'm still feeling the pain radiating in my back and my stomach. And the lower abdomen. So what I was hearing is that for us in the female bodies, that we're having these cramps because we're sort of like going through a cycle of shifts in our womb space, and it's like we're giving birth to the divine masculine. We're literally giving birth to the divine masculine. And not only that, our womb space is being prepared also for the conceptions that will be coming up, you know, throughout the coming time frame, I would say, because I already had predicted and said that there's going to be a lot of divine feminines that are going to be a lot of conceptions coming in with these unions, okay? Because as we're giving birth to the new earth, we're templating also these new seeds that are coming in. I've called them the diamond, crystal, and children, okay? And I already had received those messages coming from Spirit that that's what is also happening. So I felt something energetically was going on, especially to do with the divine masculine, because first of all, I hadn't been feeling them that much, okay, because I have 2. I have not 2 twins, so just want to explain that to you. I have my twin and my divine complement. We make up like a triad, one would say, okay? So I experience it 2 different ways with them. So when I receive the information, I'm getting it from 2 different aspects of divine masculine. So you have those who are the alpha male and those who are like the beta male. So from what I had been receiving in information is that The alpha male represents the one that's more in their, me man and strong and powerful and stuff like that. And they're the ones that hold a lot of that frequency of the patriarchy with control and the need to have power. So a lot of the ego energy has been breaking down so much within the past 2 weeks. And then you also have the beta male, which represents the ones that are a little bit more passive. They're passive aggressive. They don't know to say, learn to say no. They're always giving, and so forth. And there's no balance. So some of us, we carry the space of the alpha and the beta male, or the omega male as well. So because so much has been breaking down within the past few weeks, or I should say month, even coming from the time that we had all these eclipse seasons and all these shifts that happen through each of the moon cycles. So I really feel, because I even said to hey Kelly, I was even saying to Kelly that I wasn't feeling mine at all. When I say feeling mine, like I usually can feel them energetically very strongly. Sometimes one comes in, the other one doesn't. Sometimes I get dreams and feel the two of them at the same time. And so when I said I didn't feel them, I felt like the divine has put that in place, just like how when you became, usually the feminine usually awakens first. But it's not that they're not awakened, because I don't say they're not awakened. It's just the way how the divine set it up, that we have to focus on our own healing and all this stuff, because the divine feminine has to heal through all of her wounds. And as she's doing that, I use the word she, which what reference I'm making, because as you're doing that, it also triggers the divine masculine to do the same, because you're sharing that same energetic space. So as you're feeling the thought and everything that you're going through, they're doing the same thing, okay? So from what I was gathering, is that the divine put it in place within the past few days, for them to not feel us either. In other words, like, where did she go? How come I don't feel her? And then they're getting all the messages. It's like how we get all the synchronizations and messages, like Spirit showed me that's building up with them as well. And so what I've been feeling is a lot of heaviness. I also have been feeling this anger. I even noticed a lot of things were just pulled out of the way to do with my divine masculine. So I can feel into the energy, itself with whatever is happening with them, if I choose to. But I know either way, as it is happening, we're feeling everything together, because you're sharing that same energetic space, and they're feeling it as well. And so when this cramp came in, all of a sudden, I have not had that experience in a long time. When I started out on my cycle when I was about 13, I remember how painful it was. And I say painful because I used to have to lay down in the bed, and usually they say you have to just put warm compress on it. But because I know what it feels like to give birth, and when that pain is radiating in the back, as well as coming towards the front, and then it goes from the back to the front. That's just like when you're in labor. So I really feel that we're in labor with Mother Gaia. And for me, it feels like a volcano, like when a volcano erupts, because our bodies and everything is responding to Mother Earth in every aspect to what we're giving birth to humanity. And I have been facing for the past few days, for people who want to be in control over me, especially some male energies and females who are in a masculine energy. And some of you might have been going through that experience. Also, setting more boundaries, like you probably have been going through that, even more. Which yesterday it was like a bombardment for me with setting boundaries, you see. And that means that, people who carry those energies, when they try to sneak in and want to get more stuff from you, and they don't want to honor you, and, exchange of energy and so on and so forth. So everything and anything that we've had to be really releasing and really moving out of that space, because everything that has come towards you is a representation of what has been a block to your union space. And your union space is not only to do with your divine masculine, it also has to do with your gifts and your blessings and the things that are there for you. Because if you have all this energy of people coming at you all the time with what they want to get from you and how they want things to be, what happens is it's like a block for you, and your divine masculine also feels the same thing. So it's like I felt like as if I was just sort of like in a void space too with them yesterday. But it doesn't mean that they're not experiencing the same thing as well. And so the feminine is the one, the divine feminine is the one that gives birth to the divine masculine. And I really feel that we are feeling this pressure in the abdomen because of the energetic shift that's happening with the planet. And it's because Chiron is also leaving out of Pisces, okay? Which for me, I'm like, hallelujah, thank you. Because it's a cycle of, from what I gather, it's a cycle of the wounds and the pains that we've had, that we've carried for so long. And it even, I feel it goes even way back further, like it goes back to centuries. And so we're starting again another 0 point of energies for what is to happen for these sacred unions. And what it's doing is that it's opening up a space for communication. So I sort of had like a little dream to do it, one of my divine masculine this morning, and I was even saying to Kelly how I felt like his energy was coming closer. And it's like the dream I had, I was like on a ship, and the ship was attached to the earth or something like that. I was near the water. So all of that is showing me an energy of what more is coming closer to do with that union space. And also how much more we're releasing, stepping into your power is so important, and also creating those boundaries, okay? Creating those boundaries is essential, it's essential. And really being in that space where we just cannot allow yourself to be concerned about what other people think and how they feel, or if you're not in your sovereignty and all that stuff. So I just wanted to give that message out, that this is what's happening. And I wanted to just read real briefly what I wrote, because I feel kind of spacey right now. So if my words sound like I'm not making any sense, or if I am making sense, I'm glad if I am to you. But know that there are other females that I did put it out there if they're feeling the same thing, and I'm getting a response that they are, okay, that they are having cramps also. And what I wrote, I'm going to read you what I wrote down, so that way it's easier for me not to try to tune into what I just said. I said, I truly feel we're giving birth in this new energy to the divine masculine, and I'm hearing that our wombs are being prepared for the new conceptions coming in rapidly with these sacred unions. It's like a volcano erupting inside of me, and it's another aspect of purification of our wombs. So that's what I was hearing coming through energetically. I was coming through from spirit as I was feeling it at the same time. So it's just, think of any of you who have given birth to a child, when you're in labor and you're focusing on the fact that you know that you're giving birth to another human being, and you're having the pain at the same time, knowing that somehow you're going to see what you're creating. So it's not only just the divine masculine that you're giving birth to, but you're giving birth to the desires of your heart. You're giving birth to anything that you may have had as far as your passion. It could be a career. It could have been anything that you have been waiting and wanting for, because it's like that energetic cycle it's like as if they're showing it to me like that space is open up more to what's coming through and flowing through. And they're telling me that divine will is at hand even more now than ever. That even if it seemed like as if you never have anything come into fruition, including contact from your divine masculine, it is happening anyway. And the mere fact that there are other females that are feeling the same thing around this same time, that means that we're at that point, like a pinnacle point, which I knew, and I said, I saw 222s, 1155, 555, and it's all of that energy that's coming into balance, you see? So the mere fact that our bodies are responding to this in this moment right now, that tells us that you could feel it even in your solar plexus, because even there's been a lot of solar plexus activity. So can you imagine we're having solar plexus activity, crown chakra activity, and also the womb, just in the womb area. And I know that the live that I did with Mike, that was a activation. Okay, in a portal. It's like there was a portal opening that we all created together for anyone that was on that live last week Friday. Can you imagine? It's gonna be almost a week. It's going to be almost a week already. And so what it did is, when I saw the circle, because even when I'm with my kids on Sunday, we always form a circle and we just start to just give thanks for whatever, not in any structured way. And so that circle we formed created a space with the fire that was being activated in the womb area, and we were receiving divine codes at the same time. So that's why for me, I had a massive headache by the time I came off. I fell asleep like I was really knocked out, like Friday when they said, you got knocked the fuck out. That's exactly what it was. I got knocked out. I woke up back at 3:31. I saw 3:33 on the clock. And then I was like flat on my back for days. So to imagine now from the time sequence, whatever you've been experiencing, if you were on that live, I recommend if you did not see that live, to watch it. And if you watched it, watch it again, because usually when you get the codes coming in, you're getting another level of the code in another sequential. So think of the code numbers like 111, then you have 212 and 313 and 414. All of those are sequences of numbers that activate on different levels. Then what happens is you shift and then you go back again to that space. You're hearing the codes or whatever you're receiving in your soul, and then you go into another level again, a different sequence of numbers. So every time that happens, especially when you're in a group and that type of activation that was flowing through me, it was truly the energy of Mother Gaia, because it's like that energy always uses my body. And it's like, even though when I was speaking, you can tell even as I'm speaking now, it wasn't the same like how I was speaking then, because it's strong, it's very strong, but my body has been able to handle it. And even as I'm speaking to you now, I'm still feeling the cramps. I'm still feeling the cramps. So I'm going to interrupt myself. I'm going to look at the comments, so I'll be able to, because I really wanted to see how many more of anyone else that's feeling. You said you felt raised, said you felt bloated last night and today. Oh, you know what? Don't be surprised, Ray, if you have your cycle again, because sometimes you might have your cycle and then it comes back again during the full moon. And you see, because the full moon is coming up, and I believe it's supposed to be, I forgot the word where they use it's not super moon, snow moon. So it's going to be amplified or something like that. So you might have another cycle again, just in case. Okay, I just wanted to let you know that. And your belly was bloated. Wow. It's like when your belly is bloated, it's like you're receiving energies and codes that are coming in through to your womb space. That's what I'm hearing. And you said you're not having birthing pains, but you were just feeling like how it feels when you're having it. Yep, that's it, the back pain. You said it looked like you were 6 months pregnant, you never had kids, but yes, you don't have it. Yeah, because that's what it feels like when you're having what's the word, what do you call it again? When you're giving birth, or when you're having what is that word? My goodness. Not cramps, labor pains, that's it. When you're having the labor pains, it radiates in your back, and it comes on, and it's like having menstrual cramps to the 100th power. So definitely we're giving birth to the Divine Masculine, because one of the things that I was seeing on the live last week, I kept seeing images of the Divine Masculine coming forward. They're like they were coming forward like in a line, like in a row. Kind of reminds me almost like, not quite robotic, but it's just that the blind is off, the veil is off. And so everything that's had to be going through as far as a restructure, especially to do with money, some of them might have been facing illnesses or illnesses with people in their families. It's a lot of cycle of changes, not able to function, not able to sleep, or probably sleeping too very long. There's a lot of anger, especially, that's been coming up, and some of the anger might have been towards the Divine Feminine, and some of the anger might have been towards their mother. Also, there might have been anger as far as their life is concerned and how things are happening. So I just wanted to let you know, if you have been feeling, hey Kelly, if you have been feeling, I'm going up the line of the words, if you have been feeling like rage coming towards you, just know that you're transmuting it just for that few hours. If you did, like I usually say, usually within 24 hours or so, that's why you're having it, because you're feeling that energy coming from the Divine Masculine with the things that they have to release, okay? And a lot of it has to do with the control that had been placed on them, especially when it comes to the love that they have for the Divine Feminine. And they know already that they are connected to us, and they know already that they're here on their mission path. So all of that stuff is within their soul, okay? And it can be quite, I would say, scary in a way for them, because now they have to think about the things that they may have said to you, the things that they've allowed themselves to go through with other people, and the choices they've made, and stuff like that. So it's more like now, the way the Spirit is showing it to me is that they're now taking action. There's action-oriented energy that is happening. And so we are responding also energetically to what action that they're taking, because Spirit is showing it to me like they're doing things, or they're about to do something, or something's just about, and you can just feel it. You know what I mean? So, Ray, you said pregnant for sure, but you just had a serious flow starting the first day of the past moon. So you're saying that you are pregnant or you're not? Said yes, wow, okay. You thought, no, you're not going mad. You're not going crazy. That's why Spirit told me to come on, because of the fact that publicly I'm putting it out there, this is how our bodies are being affected, right? It's like, this is not a plaything. This is really happening. We are really going through rapid transformations, okay? And we just don't know when or how it's gonna, transpire every time. So, it's like how when things were written in certain scriptures, it said that things are gonna happen to us like a thief in the night. And it's not where we're going to be attacked. We're not going to be suffering or anything like that. It's just a part of the cycle of what we are going through, and not being in fear of it, okay? And that we're going to still keep moving through it, and we're doing it collectively. We're not doing it alone anymore. We're doing it collectively. So key thing is to stay present, stay in the now, and listen to your inner guidance to what's happening, especially when things happen randomly. And know that you're not doing it alone, that this is occurring within yourself and your divine masculine, or whoever you're connected to. And it's also affecting your family, because, I even had dreams even to do it. My aunt that turned away from me, and she was like so different. So you can see and observe other people and how they're responding to you. Like they may be more open, or there might be more people that might be just being pushed out of your space. Meaning that no more contact, or that's it, so on and so forth. Don't have any resistance to it whatsoever. You see what I'm saying? Because this is a part of your union space, and what's important for you, and what's important for your, blessings and all the stuff that is coming for you. So I just wanted to let you know that. Okay, Sanakadora said with you. Oh, he thought you was pregnant. Oh my goodness, you are pregnant. We're pregnant. I'm talking up to, I don't know what your name is. I just see L_Chiara. You thought you were pregnant. Is that we some of us have even gone through spiritual pregnancy, is what I call it in the book, spiritual pregnancy, where you might have swelling in your feet, swelling in your hands, nauseousness. Some have had vomiting. Some may have had like you just want to sleep, just like when you're pregnant. And it's a part of what your body is going to be experiencing it, because of the changes that are happening to do within you, and think about it that you're not only giving birth to the divine masculine, you're giving birth to humanity. We're giving birth to humanity. And while we're giving birth to humanity, it's like we're bringing in all the positive stuff, but we're also creating the chaos at the same time. You see? And so with the chaos, that means everything's just going to keep crumbling in, especially the divine masculine's world. You might find yourself feeling that sometimes you feel at peace, and then sometimes you feel like you're in pain, and you feel like, and that's because all these energies are kind of like integrating, they're integrating between yourself and your divine masculine. So that's the reason why it may feel like 1 minute you're up and the next minute you're down. 1 minute you're in joy, the next minute you might be feeling angry. So it's all a part of what we are shifting through, and just allow yourself to just keep moving through it and moving through it. And some people may even come across that they're going crazy, because it is intense, and it's important to stay in your heart and to stay in your knowing. Okay, stay in your heart and stay in your knowing, and then knowing that you're not going crazy. Okay, So now you said your colitis has been clearing, so it doesn't feel like a flare up most of them. Well, I feel like with you, with that, I don't know why I feel like you have also some upper respiratory. I don't know what colitis is, but they're showing me upper respiratory with you as well. So just keep taking in and letting out, okay? But when I say taking in, I mean taking fresh air and stop taking in things from other people as well. You know what I mean? Because they're making me feel like something to do with you breathing and what you're taking into your life force. So, you know, work on releasing people, places, and more things from out of your life force, because I feel like as if people attach their energies onto you, you know, because of that. Okay? Okay. He says, sorry, not preggo, just seriously even looked like it. I know, and I put on a lot of weight on my body. I mean, it is ridiculous that I couldn't even fit into my jeans. But see, even if you put on weight, just know that that is necessary with your ascension, because your soul is like kind of protective around the body, because your higher self is just coming in more and more, and then you're going to feel the heaviness on your body and feeling like you can't move, feeling like you can't get out the bed, and you're trying to function, and the time is just speeding up. So all of this everything's just happening simultaneously. And they're even telling me that, like, how usually females, when we're going through certain things with our bodies, we pay attention to it. So the divine masculine now, they're being stopped in their tracks to having to pay attention to the symptoms that they're having. They're also having symptoms and things that they're experiencing, and they're tying it even more to what's happening spiritually. So nothing that we're experiencing can be ignored any longer. It can't be. There's even cases where I'm hearing that they also might be feeling cramps, because we switch places sometimes. Sometimes the divine feminine in a female body, you might feel like as if you have the penis. And then sometimes they might feel it, because I've heard of cases of some twins where the other one experiences the menstrual cycle for the female twin. And I'm really being so serious. That is how much of a shared energy that you have, okay? There's times when I've had nauseousness and stuff, and I'm like, where is this coming from? I didn't eat anything. And I said, oh, I tuned in. I said, oh, he's eating something that you might have the allergic reaction to them. Okay? And that's why it's important to pay attention to how your body's responding to certain things that you may have, and know that the energy that you have with them is more likely it is something that you are having to identify with, and understand that it's not just you, okay? And you could even be processing something coming from their family as well, because their family is your family. Whatever they're experiencing, you could be experiencing yourself as them in the male body, because they were your family in another lifetime. So all of the factors of all these things is coming into play right now in what's coming into, like they're showing me this new template of the divine feminine and the divine masculine, okay? Complete surrendering to the masculine part of yourself when it's time to step forward. And now for the divine feminine, it's like we're kind of like, I wouldn't want to say like a holding space, but more of a greater surrendering space. And you're in your knowing that nothing or anyone else can deter you from what you know to be the truth. And that you giving that time element of whatever the divine masculine is experiencing right now. Remember what it was like for you when you were like in a fog, and then you know what's going on. Then you go into anger. Then you go into sadness. Then you go into depression. Then sometimes you go into denial. And then you come back to acceptance, and then you go, and it's just all these stages of this: acceptance, denial, acceptance, yes, no, yes. And it's a part of that alchemy, that's occurring. I do know and feel that in the collective consciousness of the divine masculine, that they know that they're here for, which I don't like to use the word mission, but it is sort of like a mission. But for me, and I feel for all of us wholeheartedly, that the mission is true love. It's about being in true love. Every time I go through anything in the physical space, as soon as I think about the true love energy of being in love, then it's like as if something just changes and shifts right away. You see? And that's why love will always lead the way, and feeling this love. So just imagine that the love of what you're creating with your divine masculine or your divine feminine is truly giving birth to something greater that has never been experienced on earth ever. You see? And they're telling me, which I know this to be true, when you're going through the labor pains, it hurts like a bitch. I know. And sometimes I wonder, I say, I did this 5 times, and all 5 of my children was natural birth. I did not have no C-section. And every time I can think about that, I didn't focus, but it's hard not to when you're having the pain. But knowing that the end result of when the baby comes out is what sets you free, because you're just thinking about what you've created and how you're so in gratitude for this baby and the joy that the baby's bringing for you. So think about all the things that you have desired in your heart, and don't lose hope or lose faith in it, because it is a happening, okay? And we're doing it together. It doesn't matter where we are in the world. It doesn't matter what another physical person may say, because we're really truly bringing in the greater, higher aspect of the self, okay? That's right. And you know, they always say that the female is like we're the super woman, but we are powerful beings, and even giving birth to a baby is a powerful thing to do. So just imagine the energy that we're bringing forth in giving birth to our divine masculine, and that energy and what is bringing forth like diamonds, okay? That's what it feels like giving birth to diamonds. Matter of fact, I think about that movie Boomerang, when Grace Jones, when she was giving birth to that perfume, and even though he got into trouble, Eddie Murphy, when he just let the guy do the commercial, whatever. And so we're really just giving birth to something so powerful. And when I look at it and I see it in spirit, it's like we're just like these divine goddesses, okay? Divine goddesses. And we have the power to keep doing this, you know, and it's just bigger and bigger and bigger. That's all I know. That's all I know. So I'm going to read what Sane says. She says your twin contacted you a week ago saying he knows what you are and he's waking up. Great. He's having trouble sorting, but that I can't give up because we have a... Oh, see that? That's right. They know. They know. Because, you know, it's like when I think about it, and someone else I read somewhere on Facebook also said that their divine masculine came to the hospital because she was in the hospital, and he chickened out and left, but he wrote her a letter apologizing to her, saying that he was scared, and he said, please don't give up on me. And it was such a beautiful thing to read. And just to know that they're all in that same space, because, you know, the things that have been entrenched on earth with all that control and power, and for them feeling that they couldn't come forward, and just be in that space of love because of all the restrictions and the slavery. You know, that slavery energy is what we're transmuting out. You know, that's what I've had to deal with this whole week. You know, Kelly knows that bullshit. You know, oh, you need to do this way, and you better not do it that way, or I'm going to do this to you. And no. It's not kicking anymore. And so, and just know that that person or persons, or whatever the situation, is really propelling us more to ground what the new energy is, because the new energy, again, is not something that had been done before or experienced on earth. And so it has been constantly as if you're going against the old structures that have had to break down so much because of how people have been stuck in the ways of how they feel things should be. You know, you got to do it this way. You can't do it that way. You know, even when I think of birth, most females and families are now doing water birth. They're not doing the traditional, oh, you got to get medication kind of stuff, you see? And, you know, and I don't focus on conspiracies and this one is trying to, because when you dive into all that kind of stuff, then you stay into that other matrix part of the programming of fear and what thinking and believing what somebody can do to you. And still, again, the more we stand strong into what is true for ourselves, our children, humanity, our divine masculine, they know that we love them. They know that we're holding space of love for them because this is real, this is true. And you know, keep it within yourself too that whatever they may have said in the past or whatever, it wasn't on purpose in terms of them wanting to hurt you. It's just that they had to be that way for how much more we had to be stronger. Because every time my twin always would come to me and tell me how much he loves me, and that I knew that however or whatever had happened, what we may call rejection and stuff like that, is because it pushed us more to become stronger and stronger and stronger. And that's all I know, you see? And there is no separation. So, you know, as they say, the law of physics is whatever has left must come back. It must return by right of consciousness, you see? And whatever has been joined together, it cannot be put asunder, no matter what. And it doesn't matter what anybody else believes. These divine unions are taking place. It is of a great magnitude, and it is greater than what one may not even remember, understand, or understand. So that's all I know. So do I know what's going to happen next from all this cramping thing? No. But I do know something magical is happening, and it is happening through our physical vessels, okay? And I don't know if any of you have ever seen the movie Village of the Damned, when all those females were pregnant at the same time. And this was where Christopher Reeve was in the movie, but they're making me feel like these energetic conceptions as well as the physical conceptions are going to happen around the same time. Okay, so it's almost like we're giving birth to a sort of like a type of twins, twin effect. And when I say twin effect, meaning that we're templating the new divine masculine because of the fact that we've had to shift out the energy within ourselves, right? On both ends. And so when these beings, because they don't even want me to call them just children, because some of them are coming in like as if they're adults. Some of them are coming in as if they're just ready to just, I'm here, and that's it, you know? And it's like they're all choosing to come in around the same time. So your womb is going through a purification as well. So I just wanted you to know that, a purification. So anyway, so Sine said, oh my God, the nausea. Yeah, there's times when I had nausea too. Oh, shoot. There's times when I had nausea also. You said literally right before the live, why you feel nauseous. Oh my gosh. Yeah, see, that's why it's always great to be in a knowing when you know what is going on rather than not knowing, because the more we allow ourselves to know, the more we set ourselves free. You see, so this is a part of the cycle. You said you're going to see me on Saturday. You talking about me, Chiara? Are you coming to the, you talking to me or you talking to someone else? I just want to be sure. Lisa, because are you the Lisa that, because it's Sunday, not Saturday. I just want to let you know because I sent you an email. Yeah. You're working on releasing one last soulmate. Well, why are you working on it? Why aren't you just doing it? They keep coming back in your space because you have a need of attachment to that experience. So just do it. Yeah, just do it. You can't wait for him to complain about menstrual cramps. Well, I don't know if it's all of them that feel it, but remember, whatever you feel, they feel. You know, every thought, every feeling is shared. Shared. What if your twin flame isn't awakened yet? If you feel that you're awakened, your twin is awakened. There is no such thing as one being awakened and the other isn't. It's just that twin souls have two different experiences, two different perspectives. So you might have one twin that's experiencing, say for instance, there's one twin experiencing a mother who's controlling, okay? And one may experience the controlling based on their one mother that tells them they can't go out on a date, right? The mother for the other twin might be the type of mother that had interfered in relationships, you know what I'm saying? And done some stuff to interfere in the relationship. So it may be two different experiences, but the both of them are having an experience of how do they empower themselves and detach themselves from the mother, right? Energetically, you know, with cutting that cord, because you don't physically cut the cord, but it's an energetic cord. And that energetic cord always starts from the mother, because the mother gave birth to you. You always feel something from that person because they gave birth to you, because that's what you're taught. You're supposed to honor your mother. That's your mother, you know. But I always say, if the mother, Sylvia Brown said that, if the mother is not honorable, if there's something you feel rejected or abandoned from that mother, then you can give yourself permission to know that you can receive it from Divine Mother. Divine Mother, okay? And so I say that twins, they are always awakened at the same time. It may appear as if the other one is not, but they really truly are. And it's put in place by the divine for the other twin too, which I don't use the word runner chaser. It's not runner chaser. That is just energy that shows up between the two, the pairs, okay, where one stays in a space of doing things with the data that's received. The masculine energy holds the data, holds the information, is grounded on earth. The feminine twin now, she transmutes the energy, she transmutes the data. Sometimes the data between the two of them goes back to the Godhead, and some of it is stored in the Akashic records, and then some of it is pulled out to be transmuted again and shift through it and creating a new energetic space again between the pairs. And so it's a lot of alchemy that's happening every single day. Every single day it's happening in energy and in cycles, okay? So I just wanted to let you know and explain to you that there's no such thing as saying one is more awakened than the other. When my twin had connected to me the first time in person, no, the second time in person, he said to me, how did I know to choose him? So the mere fact that he spoke like that, I was like, wow, I've never heard a man talk like that to me. He already knew I was the chosen one. And he was asking that way. And he said to me, I'm the only female he's ever been connected to. So meanwhile, I wasn't aware. He didn't know. We didn't use the word twin. We just knew it was true love. That's what it is. It's true love. You know, you feel it. And everything was so surreal for me. I was like, wow, he has this like me and that like me, because I'm always observing. And I'm like, wow, this is fascinating, you know. And I knew, you know, deep in your heart. So they know. And so only thing that happens that appears as if they're not awakened is that they pull away because you mirror something back to them in how they feel less than, you know, from what, and the same thing happens on the other end too, you see? And everything must come into an energetic inner balance before you can really be in a harmonious union space, you see? So, and just because you go into what appears to be a separation, which it's not a separation because you're always together energetically, and it's to get past the illusion of what you see physically only, okay? And the spiritual connection and the spiritual experience that you have supersedes the physical experience, okay? It really does. I find it to be so fascinating at times, and sometimes not, to see how things show up in the supernatural world in knowing how this connection is so powerful, okay? So just remember that and release that belief that twins are in separation, or that I'm running or they're running and I'm chasing. It's not that. The energy is always going to be polarizing itself. It's always going to be, you know, until that point where it meets in that 0 point space of harmony. And then it might pull again, you know, because you're going through another layer of something that you could be healing. And then it comes back together. And then, you know, and then you keep going in stages to that point when you don't feel affected or triggered by something that they say or someone else, because sometimes some of the stuff that we go through is coming from someone else that you're in connection to, whether it's a catalyst or a family member, a friend, or a coworker, because they're representing an aspect of something that you are shifting through, okay, to do with your path or your union, okay? So that's definitely what that is. DJ Panras, can you tell you something about experiencing the things or opportunities that happen after you were supposed? I'm trying to understand that question. Can you tell me something about experiencing things or that's why I don't like writing things, you know, because there's just so many different ways to interpret it. But I'm going to do the best I can, unless you be kind of a bit more specific with that question. So it seems kind of ambiguous, the question. experiencing things that'll happen. Unless you're saying, if that's what you're saying, that you follow your inner guidance to do something because you're guided that it's an opportunity for you, but then it takes away money from you. Is that what you're saying? So if you could reword it for me, you reword it for me, because I'm not quite understanding the question when you say punish. Because even when you say the word punish, try not to use that word, honey bunch, because when you use the word punish, it puts you in a victim energy, okay? Like you're a victim and look at me, look at what's happening to me, poor me. Instead, say, whatever I'm experiencing, I'm in gratitude for what it is bringing for me as I'm becoming a greater version of myself, okay? On what I am transcending, or what I'm changing within myself and how it shows up. It's much lighter energy, okay? So Ray, you said you felt like a baby was kicking your stomach the other night. Well, that's interesting. Well, you know you can't say that to somebody normal, right? Because they're gonna say, oh yeah, she's really crazy now. You know, I'm not getting anything jumping out at me with that, except it's probably something in the future. Because I feel like you've never had a baby before. So to me, the energy feels like a conception that's going to happen in the future, and you're having the experience ahead of time. Because a lot of things that are also going to be happening with us is that we're going to be experiencing so much simultaneously that you might be experiencing it now, but that's coming up in the future. I think it kind of reminds me, like the movie Inception, you know, or I've had that experience where I'm experiencing something in this physical dimension, and I'm also experiencing it in the higher dimension at the same time. And I was so fascinated. I was like, wow, that's incredible. Like I could hear my conversation in the higher dimension, and I was having it in this physical space as well. So to me, that's sort of like what I can interpret that, you know, as being. So, okay. Nope, you're not alone, Ray. Not alone. And even though I'm still having little mild cramps, but it's not like as painful, you know, like it was. Okay, Tina. Okay, so then Lisa, it's actually Sunday, not Saturday, okay? Just want to let you know, I sent you the email, so make sure you check the email. And the time is from 12 to 5. I apologize I didn't get to post it again, but I am really doing like 5, 6, 7 things at the same time while I'm processing at the same time. Yeah, she had it at the 16th, but it was supposed to be Sunday the 17th, so I hope it doesn't cause an inconvenience for you. So I guess it was a good thing I came on here so that way you'll be consciously aware, because I sent you the email. And Mercury's not even in retrograde yet. The shadow period starts next week. But I know that the Mercury in Aquarius is bringing a lot of communication coming in so much. For me, it was anyway, you know. Oh, so now you're the one that plays again. Okay, so you're the one in New York. Oh, that's nice. So keep playing your music and keep dancing. That brings it together. You worked up on 63rd and 3rd. Okay. Yes, now and then sometimes I'll be in Manhattan, but I don't have a vehicle to get down there right now. But I know if there's times I'll be in Manhattan, you know, whatever I'm doing. The last time I think I was there was when I went to do a spiritual fair or something. And that was I think it was June, and then I went to the next one in November. So there's another one coming up in April as well. Okay, and Ray, you said you told about the trauma, accused and emotional neglect. Okay. Ray, you said what is your twin is 30 years older, or what if your twin is 30 years older? Because you know age doesn't make a difference when it comes to this path. Absolutely not. Because this is about the connection back to yourself, regardless of no barriers, no boundaries, you know, none of that. I mean, my twin and divine complement are younger than me. There's many of us that there's huge age gaps. There's one that I know that's in his late 50s, and his twin is 18. So It has nothing to do with age or gender or cultural background or religious differences. These are the barriers that we're breaking, dismantling too, to who they are, both Gemini. 10 years is 10 years, age human, okay. Yes, there's many of us that there's age difference. So like both of mine is 15, I think it's 15 and 16, and they couldn't even believe my age anyway. So it doesn't even matter. All I know is that love is what's real. And being in love is even more powerful. That's right. So, oh, you've never had a, yes, I feel you've never had a baby. And, you know, your twin and your divine complements, you know, or your sacred partners, they already know that you are the chosen one. And they would already have had premonitions about the children that are coming as well. So there's no need to have any fear, you know, around it either. Oh, thank you, honey. Oh, Ed, you're from New York too? Yeah, New York is rocking. Woo. New York is rocking with some energies. Because you know that many of us are placed in different parts and cornerstones of, you know, on the earth for what we're here to do and to be. And there's some who may end up moving and going out west or east, like what they've shown to me before, and that might switch and it might rotate, you know, it might rotate. But don't be in fear of it because it's all a part of the process. It's all a part of the process. But I do know from everything that I've seen or what's been shown to me, there are a lot of couples that are coming into that physical space because we're grounding the energies on earth. Okay, so it's not just in thoughts and, you know, and imagination or what you're tapping into or coming from just dreams. And I believe and know that when we move gears into, like, especially coming into the springtime of the what is that called again? What is that called again for March when it comes up? It's not the solstice, equinox. The equinox is a huge representation of what is coming into that other balance on Earth and what's shifting in polarity. Because the energy of who we were in the past life from Atlantis and Lemuria, we've been pushing through all of the stuff that has not served our union space, you know, that separation of what has happened. Okay, and because we're in this new energy, everything is speeding up more rapidly. And I said before, it's important to be conscious of what you are thinking, and whatever you feel guidance coming from your higher self, pay very close attention to that, because you're going to be led to be at the right place at the right time for whatever is coming for you. Okay, so anyway, I think that is all I can say for now, because you know I always say I'll just be very brief, but that doesn't happen with Sharon. But at least I can say so the pain has dissipated. You know, I have no idea if it's going to come and go or whatever, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens within the next, I would say within the next week, because we're heading into Pisces, and Pisces is representing of our dreams coming true. So I realized that my Mercury is in Pisces, my Moon is in Pisces, my Venus is in Pisces, besides the Sun in Aquarius. So that means that a lot of things that I've been seeing is coming into its actual fruition. And then my rising is Taurus, so that's I'm really pulling it together and grounding it on Earth. So I really feel that truly ending, someone just sent me a message. So we're truly ending those cycles of the things that we experienced that were keeping us in that physical separation of the things that we desired. So, and what I feel is that it's going to come in not only rapidly, but a lot all at the same time, okay? So when I say a lot at the same time, meaning that one day you might have this happen and that happen and that, and you're like, oh my gosh, and you're trying to keep you know, capture all of it together in one place. So it's important to stay, you know, grounded with yourself, with taking a sea salt bath and, you know, drinking water. If you have someone close that you can talk to, so you can just keep talking things through, and staying so strong in your power, you know, like really strong in your power, like really, 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 you know, and you may find yourself feeling like as if you're really in a different world. That's how it feels for me. Like I'm in a different world. I'm still here presently in the physical space, but I'm manifesting, and you're creating, and we're still creating in this space, and creating in our womb space. All of this. Yes, Chiron being on a Pisces is one of the most loveliest things I could ever hear. It makes a lot of sense for me and what I've been experiencing for the past 8 to 10 years, you know, especially with the finance thing and the control that came from the government thing, all these different things, you know. And so no matter what, I know that Spirit got our back, okay? And it's like all of those energies of what we call the ones that go against us, or the darkness, or whatever you want to call the name, because I don't like to call it with me. I'm very conscious of not calling out names too much, because you're giving it energy. So, and it still served its purpose. So we're in the time of everything now coming our way, and we don't have to feel, we're not going to have to feel like we're having all these constant, like, oh, here it comes again, you know, or something that feels like it stops us, or some kind of bullshit, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I see it, yeah. And you know, and I know it's been tired. It's been exhausting, you know. But the light is not at the end of the tunnel. The light is here now. The light is returned. And we see everything that had been what we call the opposite of polarity to what it is. Let it go. Just let it all go. Let it all go. This is our true freedom time. So, all right, honey bunch, I shall, you know, see you another time. I won't say leave you or say bye-bye. And if any one of you are in the New Jersey area, I will be at... Gosh, I wish it would give me 1 minute, because I don't want to not say the right name. Oh, the Rock Collage. And it's Sunday, February 17th, 2019, from 12 to 5 p.m. I'll more likely I'll be speaking and, you know, just talking about things, especially centered around love. And, you know, because we're really heading into creating new relationships with ourselves and with others, and of course our beloveds, okay? The beloved is you, and you are the beloved. And it's a time of great joy. So I'll be also doing some readings for anyone that would like to have a reading. I think it's 20 minutes and 30 minutes. So if you are on Facebook, you can look for the Rock Collage, and you can get the information there in regards to that. Okay? So peace be with you, my lovely souls, beautiful souls. And if any of you have anything that happens supernaturally, you know, with your cramps, if any of the males are also experiencing cramps and stuff, because maybe it's not subjected to just females. If you are, I'd be like, what? You know, but if you are, please let me know. I wish you were in New York. I know, that'd be great. Because, you know, the more we come together, it brings more power within us, you know. It becomes very powerful. But I really feel that we're at a place where we can, like, wow, I can finally get to experience what this is like. That's all I know. You know, what it's like to have things coming in a greater flow, greater abundance, you know. And, you know, there's one thing I know, I'll leave you on this note. The world will now know how do I say this, how important, how vital, how magnanimous we are and what we're here for. That we are to be honored, okay, especially the divine feminine. Honoring the feminine energy, honoring the feminine space, honoring who she is, you see, because this is what brings us into a greater balance, and know that this is really happening, okay? So it's a serious thing, but we can still be lighthearted with it, right? We can still laugh, we can still you know, be in joy with it no matter what, and make jokes. Okay. So next time I shall give you some more jokes, but I'm still feeling the cramping. And by the way, while I was doing the live, I just want to let you know that I got more response from some other females. Let me just read it real quick because I left it open because I wanted to see if anyone else was going to make a comment. Yep. 2 other females says yes today. Yes. So this is happening. This is happening. And I'm going to be cut off in 16 seconds. So I might as well finish off the seconds. I love you so much. And I'm sending you so much peace and blessings. Okay. Namaste. Well.